Chapter 2, Lesson 3, the percent proportion. You will be able to use the percent proportion. Use the percent proportion to solve the following problems. This is your percent proportion. Your part over your whole equals percent, and percents are always over 100, so percent over 100. Your whole amount is really your total, okay? So why don't you jot down the word total? So let's use our percent proportion. What percent? That means we don't know the percent. So let's make our empty proportion. Our percent is out of 100, and we don't know what it is, so let's fill it in with an X. What percent of 15 is 9? 15 would be your total amount, which would go in your denominator. That'd be your whole amount. What percent of 15? What percent of the total 15? Which means your part is 9. From here, all we are doing is cross multiplication. 15 times x is 15x equals, and then we have 9 times 100. I'm going to carry this up over here. So we have 15x equals 9 times 100 is 900. Divide by 15 on both sides, and we would get a percent, because we're finding percent. Well, let me do 15 into 90. 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, 90, that's 6, which means 60. So our answer for letter A is 60%. Please make sure you put a percent symbol if you're looking for a percent. Okay? Letter B. I am lacking room here. I'll have to write a little smaller. What percent? So again, we're finding the percent. Percents are out of 100, and I don't know the percent. Of 25, that is the total. Is 20 is the part. Cross multiply. 25x equals 20 times 100. So 25x equals 2,000. Divide by 25. X equals, think 25 into 200, which is 4 times, therefore 40. And our answer, I'll write over here, is 40%. That is for letter B. Letter C. 12.75 is what percent of 50? So again, we don't know our percent. Of 50 means that 50 is the total, and 12.75 is the part. Cross multiply. 50 times x equals 12.75 times 100. So 50x equals, the shortcut is to move the decimal point 2 to the right when you multiply by 100. So 1,275. Divide by 50. X equals, well, I'm going to do some long division here. 50 into 127 is twice. 50 into 275 would be 50, 100, 150, 200, 250 would be 5 times. And we'll add a decimal point. And this is exactly 5. So our answer, oops, a little too far, is 25.5%. Letter D. Set up your proportion. What percent, so I don't know the percent, of 90 is 9? Cross multiply. 90 times x equals 9 times 100. 90x equals 900. Divide by 90. X equals 10. And this is a percent. Now let's again use the same percent proportion, but this time we're finding the part. Okay. We have our blank proportion, which I'm probably going to run out of room again. We'll do the best we can. Percent is out of 100. What number is 40%? If it has a percent symbol, that's your percent. So 40 goes over 100 because percents are out of 100. Of 120. Of 120 means that's the whole or total amount, which means our unknown is the part. Cross multiply. 100x equals 120 times 40. 100x equals 12 times 4 is 48. Add the 2 zeros. Solve. Divide by 100. And you get x equals 48. Oops. Not a percent. We already have the percent, so it's just a plain 48. Letter B. Start with your blank proportion. 100 always goes in the denominator. One of the denominators. It doesn't matter which one. What number is 5%? It has a percent symbol, which means it goes over 100. Of 60. Of 60 means the whole, which means you're finding the part again. Cross multiply. 100x equals 5 times 60. 100x equals 300. Divide by 100. And you get x equals 3. No percent symbol, it's just a part. Start with your blank proportion. 12%, oh, put our 100 in. 12% goes over the 100 of 85 is what number? Cross multiply. 100 times x equals 12 times 85. And let's do 12 times 85. So 1020. X equals 1020. Divide by 100. X equals 102. I'm sorry, 10.2. Did my math a little wrong there. When you divide by 100, you move the decimal point 2 to the left, which would put our decimal at 10.2. Letter D. Start with your blank proportion and your 100 in one of the denominators. What number is 2% of 35? Cross multiply. 100 times x equals 2 times 35. 100x equals 70. Divide by 100. When we divide by 100, we move the decimal point 2 to the left. So it would be 0.70 or just plain 0.7. Okay? Using it to find our total now, our whole amount. Again, we start with our blank proportion and 100 in the denominator. 18 is 25% of what number? 25 goes there. Always look for that of. Of what number? We don't know what the total is, therefore the total is our unknown, which means the only place for 18 is our part. Cross multiply. 25 times x equals 18 times 100. 25x equals 1800. Divide by 25. X equals. This one I think I'm going to do long division for. 25 into 1800. Okay, 25 into 180, 25, 50, 75, 100, 25, 50, 75. That would be 7 times minus 175. Would give us 5 left over. Bring down the 0. And it'd be an even 2 times. So x equals 72. No percent sign. I'm not finding the percent. Letter B. Start with your proportion. 40% of what number, so we don't know our of, which is our total, is 26. Cross multiply. 40 times x equals 26 times 100. 40x equals 2,600. Divide by 40. We'll go back to that problem. X equals, well, let's do this division. 40 into 2,600 goes into 26 6 times. Goes into 20 0 times. Goes into 200 exactly 5. So we have x equals 605 is the total. Letter C. 84 is 75% of what number? 75% goes over 100 because it's a percent. Of what number? Means our unknown is our whole. And 84 goes there. Cross multiply. 75 times x equals 84 times 100. 75x equals 8,400. Divide by 75. And again, looks like I'm doing some long division. 75 into 8,400. 75 goes into 84 once. Goes into 90 once. Goes into 150 twice. So x equals 112. I'm going to erase part of letter B so I can see my question for D. Set up your proportion with your 100. 62 is 94.5%, so I know that's the percent of what number? I don't know the total amount. 62 would then be the part. Cross multiply. 90.5 times x equals 62 times 100. 90.5x equals 6,200. Divide by 90.5. And looks like we're doing more long division. 90.5 into 6,200. We have a decimal on the outside. We need to move it 1 over, which means we move this one 1 over and add a 0. 905 can't go into 662 or 620. We have to think into 6,200. Let's estimate here. Let's try, maybe 6 times. We'll see where that takes us. All right, let's try 7 times. Actually, I don't think it'll go in 7 times. So 6 times. Nope, definitely did not. Bring down a 0. 76. Let's try 8 times. Okay, 8 looks good. Which was 7240. Add a decimal point and a 0, which looks like I'm running out of room. 4,600. Well, 6 is too much. Let's try 5. $45.25. Which would be 75. And it looks like this is going to go on for a while, so I'm going to stop right there and say about 68.5. Word problems. What you need to determine is what's the percent, what's the part, what's the whole. The average adult male western lowland gorilla weighs about 33.5 pounds of fruit each day. Eats. Okay. Typo there. Not a problem. Let's try that again. The average adult male western lowland gorilla eats about 33.5 pounds of fruit each day. How much food does the average adult male gorilla eat each day? Okay. Okay. This should also be fruit. So we are focused on fruit here at 67%. Okay, so let's set up our proportion. 67 would be our percent. Now he eats 67% fruit. He eats 33.5 pounds. This is how much he eats. Okay, which X would be on the bottom. And actually, looking back on it, this is right. Bear with me. All right, so here we go. Cross multiply. 67 times X is 33.5 times 100. 67X equals 3,350. Divide by 67. So 67,350. Let's try 67 times 4. We might be able to go higher. Let's try times 5. Aha! So 5 minus 335 is 0. Bring down the 0. So X equals 50. So the amount of food he can eat each day is 50 pounds. Brand A cereal contains 10 cups of cereal. How many more cups of cereal are in brand B? Okay. So brand B definitely has more cereal. They have 30% more cereal. Okay. So what we need to figure out, our percent is over 100, and we're definitely using 30% more. We need to figure out what 30% of 10 is. So 10 is our original amount, which means we're finding our part. Cross multiply. 100 times X equals 30 times 10. 100X equals 300. Divide by 100. X equals 3. So how many more cups are in brand B? 3 more cups. Which means there's actually a total of 10 plus 3, or 13 cups.